Oh, hi everyone, good evening. So, everyone who've joined the live classes of Board of Studies ICAI, I will be your mentor for the topic tax invoice, credit, and debit note. Good evening, Pooja. Good evening. See, we'll follow one thing. Good evening, Shamli. Good evening. Can we do one thing? I'll be teaching. Good evening, everyone. Can we do one thing? While I'll be teaching, I won't be taking the queries. And once we'll take a gap, I'll take all the queries. And still, if you people have, good evening, Prerna. Still, if you have a very important query, you can raise your hand and I'll address it. So, shall we proceed with the class? Everyone, can I? Shall we proceed with the class? Good evening. Perfect, perfect. So, as per the topic, tax invoice, credit, debit note, we'll have a brief introduction of the chapter so that the words which will be there in the chapter, you won't feel difficulty while going through them. This chapter contains of very small sections, which is 31, 32, 33, 34. In all, there are 34 four sections now. I'll give you a brief introduction. The first section, section 31, defines tax invoice. The first section, section 31, define tax invoice. The second section, which is section 32, define prohibition. Good evening. Prohibition of unauthorized collection of tax. Nobody who's not registered cannot issue a tax invoice and cannot collect tax. Then section 33 is amount of tax to be indicated in the tax invoice and the other document. I'll explain the other document, but the point is whenever you buy stuff, you would have taken the invoice, and in that invoice, you'll always see we have CGST, SGST, the rate is also mentioned and the amount is also mentioned. And it has to be mentioned because it has to be mentioned as per section 33. And the last section is credit and debit note 34. So, a small summary recap. We have four sections 31, 32, 33, 34. We'll revise. 31 is for the invoice. 32 is you can't collect tax until unless you're registered under GST. 33 is one cannot take tax without indicating it in the invoice. That means indication of tax, that is GST, is to be there on the invoice. And 34 deals with the credit note and debit note. Now, tax invoice. If you people have noticed, it is written tax invoice and other document. That means tax invoice is issued along, in some cases, there are certain other documents which are also issued. So, these are other documents. So, do you people understood the whole strategy about the chapter? We are now starting with the section 31, which is tax invoice. Everyone, perfect? Now, no need to go through, but still, I'll ask everyone buy things, take services. And in that, while we pay for the goods or the service, we've been issued a tax invoice. And that tax invoice is there apparent on your screen. What are the basic feature which a tax invoice have? Like if I am the supplier, there will be my address, my name of the firm, my GSTN, as well as your people information, the information about the goods or the service, and then the next, what is the goods or service which we are selling, and the value along with tax. So let's make a diagram to it. See, I'm a supplier, and supplier, that too, I'm a registered supplier. I'm supplying, I'm giving you either goods, either service, or both of them. Now, you people are recipient. Since I am issuing a tax invoice, I'm a registered supplier. Now, since you people have bought goods and service from me, you need a documentary evidence, and that documentary evidence is known as tax invoice. So, I'll give you tax invoice along with the goods or service. So, tax invoice is it's a documentary evidence. At the same time, it is a commercial document. That means whenever we have commercial transactions, which is business oriented transactions, we issue a tax invoice. Now, type of documents issued by different suppliers. We just had a talk that there is a tax invoice and there are other documents also. So we'll have a summary recap, a quick recap, so that while studying the whole chapter, you won't face the difficulty. I'll take the first one as bill of supply, right? See, I'm a registered person. Registered person means I'm registered under GST. I may be giving taxable supply and I may be giving exempted supply. If I'm giving a taxable supply, I'll issue a tax invoice. But if I'm giving an exempted supply, I'll issue a bill of supply. As simple as that. See, both the cases I'm registered. The only thing is type of supply. If it's a taxable supply, I'll issue a tax invoice. And if it is an exempted supply, I'll issue a bill of supply. Then the next, somebody gave me advance payment. The supply has not taken place, but the person has given me advance. I'll give him a kind of a documentary evidence now that yes, I've received the advance, and for that, I'll issue a receipt voucher. For that, I'll issue a receipt voucher. Then, due to some circumstances, sale could not be made. That means I have to refund the advance received. Then, I'll issue a refund voucher. Then I'll issue a refund voucher. Then next. Sometimes when I take supplies under RCM, RCM you might be knowing reverse charge mechanism. And when I make the payment towards those supply, I issue a payment voucher. I'll give you an example. I have taken some supplies which are to be taxable under reverse charge mechanism. That means I have consumed the supply, I have taken the supply, still the tax will be paid by me to the government. While the tax I'll pay to the government, the GST element, but the consideration for the supply, I'll give it to the supplier. And at that point of time, I'll issue a payment voucher. Sometimes goods are received, but they are not for the goods are supplied, but they are not for the purpose of supply. Like example, goods sent on approval. I don't know whether the person will approve my goods or not. It might refund also. So in that case, while I'll remove the good, I'll issue a delivery challan. Then consolidated tax invoices. For example, I went to a shopkeeper and I'm an unregistered person. I'm not registered. I won't be taking the credit of the tax paid. And the supply paid to me is less than 200 rupees. Then, in case the supplier can make a consolidated tax invoice, I'll give you. I sold a good for rupees 20. I sold a good for rupees 40. I sold a good for rupees 140. If the recipient do not want invoice and he is not even registered, then we can issue consolidated consolidated tax invoice. That is, at the end of the day, I'll make a total of 20, 40, and 140, and I'll issue a consolidated tax invoice. So it becomes easy for the supplier when the supply he is making is below 200 rupees and it is made to an unregistered person and the person do not want the invoice. Then we have revised tax invoice. If you people remember about the registration, if you are applicable, if you are liable to be registered and you apply for registration within 30 days, if you people remember, and then the registration which you get is applicable from the date when you were liable to be registered. Then in case from a time period from here to here, we were not registered because we did not had GST and at that time. So for this, we'll issue a revised tax invoice. So this is I had a message about e-way bill. E-way bill is a documentary evidence regarding the movement of the good, right? So yes, e-way bill is also there, but we have a chapter also, and whenever we move the good intrastate or interstate, and in case of interstate, the value of good is 50,000 more, then we issue e-way bill. So first of all, I need information from your side. Did you had a knowledge, a brief introduction about the chapter, which is invoice, debit note, credit note? Debit note, credit note, Abhi, I have not taken. I have only started explaining invoice and other documents. So if you people have understood this, can we proceed further? Perfect. Invoice is a commercial documentary evidence issued by the registered person covered under section 31. Okay, it is issued by registered. Perfect. It is issued by the registered person and it is given to the recipient, right? And there are other document also. Shall we proceed now? Perfect. So here we begin with the introduction. See, it becomes so easy to you now. An invoice is a commercial instrument. I told you na, it's a business document. It is a commercial instrument. Who issue it? Issued by the supplier of goods, service, or both, of course. And to whom it is issued? It is issued to the recipient of goods, service, or both. Then invoice. Identify both the party involved. Of course, in the invoice, there is the information about the supplier also and the information about the recipient also. Then list the items sold, service supplied. Yes, I told you it had a information about the goods and service supplied. Describe the item, goods sold, service supplied. Of course, it also describes what has been sold, which service has been rendered. Quantifies the item sold. It also tells 1 unit, 5 unit, like that, so on. Shows the date of shipment, when will it be provided. Show the mode of transportation, how will it be transported to your place. Show the price and the discount. See, there are 3 words involved. Take it very carefully for the MCQs. See, first of all, we'll have a price on the in the invoice. Then always recipient always want discount. So if any discount has been provided, it should be there on the invoice and the tax portion of the same. And see, we've just did it. Showing the tax element on the invoice is very important. So we have the tax portion on the same and shows the delivery and the payment term. When will the goods or service will be supplied or delivered and what will be the payment terms. Characteristic of tax invoice. I had a query about QR code important है क्या? And QR code is for e-invoicing, which we'll be doing it. Abhi, we are talking about the physical invoice, that is the manual invoice, right? Now, characteristic of tax invoice. To ensure transparency, issuance of invoice for every taxable transaction is very important. Can anyone tell me if this transaction is, see, I'll be very happy if you do that. If this transaction is exempted, what will I issue? What will I issue? If The transaction which I'm supplying, very good, very good, very good. See, very good. See, you're understanding it, no? Very good. So, tax invoice is issued. Perfect, perfect. BOS, right? So, if it is taxable transaction, then we have to issue the tax invoice. Very good. Very happy. Now, the invoice serves as a demand for payment for the supplier. Very good. When I give you an invoice, that means I'm telling you people out that the value mentioned in the invoice after discount along with the tax has to be paid by the recipient. An invoice is a document of title where consideration is paid in full. Very good. See, foundation you might be knowing. Document are of two type. Document of title and document showing title. Do you people remember? In the foundation law, we used to do document of title and document showing title, right? So that's what it is saying. Ki once the payment is made, it's a document of title. That means you can transfer it, right? Now, the registered person cannot avail ITC unless he is in the possession of tax invoice or a debit note. Okay. Now, see, it is incorporated with two words. We'll understand both of them. If you need, the recipient is registered and he want or she want the ITC. It must have the invoice, right? Then next, debit note. Sometimes we issue a Gulti. I'll just reply to your query. Let me complete this with okay. Now, debit note. Sometimes, for example, I'll take an example. I have supplied 1000 kg at a price of 10,000 rupees. Now, the thing is, while supplying, I supplied 1200 kgs at the price of 12,000 rupees. Now, the thing is, my original invoice was for rupees 10,000 for 1,000 kgs. Now, but I have supplied more of the quantity, so the price also increased, and the recipient accepted those extra quantity. In this case, for this, we have issued invoice, the original invoice, and for 1200 kg, I'll issue a debit note, which is also known as supplementary invoice. So we'll sum up. If I need to have ITC, if I need to take ITC, I must have tax invoice and debit note, right? Everyone understood? Can I proceed further? Do you people understood about the tax invoice and debit note? Perfect. Perfect. Now, the type of invoice to be issued depend upon the category of registered person making the supply. Yes, can I ask you people now? Tell me. It is telling which kind of invoice is to be issued depends upon the category of registered person. So my question is, I am giving the exempted supply. So the invoice will be issued or a bill of supply will be issued? Perfect. So did you people understood? What will be issued depends upon the, see, everything is so self-explanatory. It depends upon the category of registered person. Now, there is no format, very important. Perfect, perfect. There is no format prescribed for the tax invoice, but only certain fields have been prescribed as mandatory fields. See, there is no such format that yes, it has to be. And just think about, no, sometimes you get an invoice which is white vertical slip. Sometimes you get a A4 size invoice. That means invoice can be of any shape, any size. Means format is not prescribed, but what will be there in the invoice is being mandatory, right? And has been prescribed. Further, an invoice may be issued manually or electronically. See, I was telling now there is one more concept which is e-invoice, which we'll be taking in the another session. Today I'll make sure I cover physical invoice as much as I can. Then issuance of electronic invoice is not mandatory up to certain level of aggregate turnover. I'll explain. Physical invoice, that is the manual invoice. It has to be issued by everyone. Everyone. Divya, I'll explain supplementary invoice again. I'll explain. See, I gave you 1000 kg of potatoes at a price of rupees 10,000. But while I was supplying, I gave you 1200 kgs, right? That means 200 kg was more than what was ordered by you. So my original invoice was for only the 1000 kg, but you accepted 1200 kgs. That means you accepted additional 200 kgs. I'll bill no. At that time, I'll issue a supplementary invoice. Supplementary means anything which has an original invoice. I'll issue a supplementary invoice. For that, it is also known as debit note. And on the basis of this, you can claim the credit of 200 kgs also. Did you people get it? Did you get the topic now? What is supplementary invoice? Perfect. Shall I proceed? Perfect, perfect. Okay. Now, yeah, back to our class again. So, manual invoice has to be issued by everyone, but there is a mandatory requirement from financial year 17-18. If any time your aggregate turnover exceed 5 crore rupees, then you have to issue a e-invoice, and which is an entirely different concept, which I'll be taking it in the next class, or if we have a time, I'll take it today also. So we have two invoices, one e-invoice, which is not for everyone. It will only be applicable when your aggregate turnover in any of the financial years since 17-18 exceed 5 crore rupees. Now, particulars of tax invoicing. This is very self-explanatory. Ma'am, e-invoice will be helpful for auditors, for audit trail, right, ma'am? Perfect, because e-invoice automatically updates many a thing, like it generate e-way also, it update your 1A also, one also. So there are so many things which is, but we'll do it, don't worry. Now, what are the particular of tax invoice? There is no format prescribed for an invoice, but GST rules, please make it very important. It's an MCQ. GST rules makes it mandatory for an invoice to have the following fields. So as per act, no format, but as per rules, we have certain definite mandatory field which should be there. Name, address, and GSTN of the supplier. Perfect. That is me. Then a consecutive serial number not exceeding 16 characters. It can be less than 16 character, but it cannot exceed 16 character. It can have alphabets, it can have numeral, it can have special character like hyphen, dash, slash, or any combination thereof, which is unique for a financial year. Anyway, like I'll draft a invoice number. I can have my pen number, right? Then it has alphanumeric. Then I can have the financial year. So pen number, financial year, and some kind of random digit which I'll be following. So it is as per your choice how you want to draft your invoice number. Then date of its issued, when did the invoice was issued. If the recipient is registered, then his name, address, GSTN, and UIN, unique identity number. Do you people have an idea about UIN? Unique identity number? Do you people have an idea about? Perfect. Now I'll explain. See, UIN, if you were in embassy, consulate, then you've been allotted a unique identity number so that you can claim. Very good, very good. You can claim the credit on the specified, yeah, on the approved supplies. For that, if a UIN holder is buying goods from me, is taking supply from me, I have to mention the UIN number also. Then if recipient is unregistered, very important, cautious, very important. If you people are unregistered and the value of supply is 50,000, please, uh, Nagaraja, it's not foreign company about the UIN. It's the diplomats who have been allotted a UIN number by the Ministry of External Affairs, right? Now, very important, recipient is, if recipient is unregistered, like you people are not registered, and the value of supply is 50,000 or more. The name, address of the recipient, address of the delivery with the name of the state, and the state code has to be mentioned. Very important. If I am purchasing a laptop and the value of the laptop is, and that is for my personal purposes, I'm not registered, and the value of the laptop is 50,000 or more than 50,000, then it is very important that my information is also mentioned in the invoice. And what are the information which will be mentioned? My name. Perfect, perfect, Gulti. This is perfect. Special category people. My name will be given, my address will be given, my address of delivery will be given, and the name of the state along with the state code will be given. Then, if the recipient is unregistered, again, you people are unregistered, and the value of supply is less than 50,000. For example, a everyday course, no, we people buy so many things, and the value is less than 50,000. The name, the address of the recipient, address of delivery within with the name of the state and the state code only when the unregistered recipient requests these details to be recorded on the tax invoice. So if the value of the invoice is less than, I am emphasizing, is less than 50,000, then the information above will only be given if asked by the fill in the blanks, reply. The information about the recipient will only be given if asked by the, what will be the answer? Very good, very good. If asked by the recipient. Very good, very happy. Now, note. Yes, your chat is visible. I can see everyone's chat, right? Sorry, I have a bad sore throat. So, note, in case of supply of online money gaming, and in case where any taxable supply service is supplied by or through ECO or the supplier of OIDAR service to recipient who is unregistered, irrespective of the value of such supply, a tax invoice issued by the registered person shall contain the name of the state of the recipient. I'll make it very easy. Okay, you people might be ordering to goods through online apps, right? Whether the good is like for 10 rupees, for 20 rupees, for 10,000 rupees, for 50,000 rupees, for 60,000 rupees, always remember you have the information about your own self. So this is what the whole information about, and this is the new entry which is made. What? Online. If you're doing any online game where the money is involved, right? Or you're, oh, I'll explain. Or you are giving taxable services supplied by or through ECO, ठीक है? And second, or supply of online information data access retrieval service. This is OIDAR to be dealt at final. But still, I'll explain. There are so many OTT platforms, which is online information data access retrieval services. In that case, whenever a bill is made, irrespective of the value of the state, it shall contain the name of the state of the recipient so that we can know it's an interstate supply or intrastate supply. And the same shall be deemed to be the address on the record of the recipient. And whatever address, whatever state is mentioned in the invoice, that will be your address, right? Eco, yes, perfect, Harsh. Eco is e-commerce operator. Then, next, harmonized system of nomenclature. We'll have another thing. Okay, I'll explain it in an easy manner. We have it in the further slides also. I'm buying a bangle. Just imagine and give me an answer. I'm buying a bangle. One of my bangle is Netflix. Perfect, Adil. One of my bangle is of gold. The another one is of plastic, and the another one is of glass. Tell me one thing. I know all the three are bangle, but are they same in the value? Are they same in the category? Just imagine and think about. I'm buying a bangle, and there are three type of bangle. Perfect. And for that, we need to differentiate, no? And perfect, perfect. They are different in category. Again, one more example can I give? A fish. A fish can be a live fish also, which is there in the aquarium, whereas it can be a fish at the butcher shop also. So fish, and a fish can be of plastic for the toy purposes also. So for that, a fish is a very wide term. To determine what kind of fish it is, we use HSN code, which is there further dealt in the slide. Did you people understood? If you need to categorize a product, a good, you need to use the HSN code, harmonized system of nomenclature. In the same way, if you need to categorize a service, you have to give SAC code. Yes, Goldie. Anil. Yes, Anil. It will vary. There are so many HSN code. You define the description, they'll give you a HSN code, and HSN code determines the rate of GST to be applicable. Next, we have description of the goods service both. See, this is then HSN code and SSC code. Quantity of the good, total value of goods and service or both. How much is this of? Then taxable value of goods or service both after discount. Remember, just a 15 minutes away, we did the value before discount. Then we put the discount. That's the value after discount, and that's the value on which the GST is applicable. So you have to mention both the value before discount, discount and after discount. The rate of GST, okay, fatafat. Rate of GST, if very good. Yes, it's 6 digit. I'll explain everything. Yeah, it's 6 digit. Usually it is 8 also, but mentioning 6 digit is important. Okay, can somebody tell me? Yes, Harsh, that's what I was explaining. Can somebody tell me if I don't mention the rate of GST, is it as per the rules which were framed by the CB, the GST? Tell me, if I don't mention the rate of GST, see, I'm not mentioning the rate of GST, I'm only giving the amount of GST. Is that okay? Or mentioning the rate of GST along with the amount. Yes, mentioning the rate of GST along with the amount of GST is important. Perfect. Amount of GST charge for taxable. See, it came now. Rate of GST and amount of GST. Place of supply along with the name of the state when the supply is interstate supply. Of course, if it is interstate, that means from my place to some other place, and the state is different, the name of the state. Address of delivery where the same is different from the place of supplies. Sometimes it happens, no, I'm ordering goods from my state to another state to gift you people. Tell me, is that possible? See, I'm ordering it, suppose like I'm there in Rajasthan, I'm ordering good. Perfect. So that means my delivery address is different. Perfect. So we have to mention both the thing, right? Perfect. Now, where the GST is payable on RCM basis, the signature or digital signature of supplier. Bill to ship to model, very good, Shamli, perfect. Bill to ship to model. Billing was done at the other place, whereas the shipping, the address was where the goods to be delivered are at other place. Perfect. You people are wonderful audiences and students, right? Where the GST is payable on RCM basis, the signature or digital signature of the supplier or his authorized representative. However, such signature would not be required in case of E-invoice. So the point is, okay, if I am taking goods from the unregistered person, see, I'm explaining. If I am taking goods or service on which RCM is applicable, I need an answer from you people. If I am taking goods from a person and the goods are applicable under RCM basis, they are charged under RCM basis. While making the payment, what will I issue? While making the payment, what will I issue? Perfect. I'll issue a payment voucher. See, I'm very happy you people have an answer of every of my question. The next question. See, now understand this. I did not explain, but I'll happy if you people give me a answer. See, I'm taking a goods and the goods are under RCM. This can be a case of service also. I'm taking a service and the service is under RCM, but the supplier is not registered. But the supplier is not registered. In that case, I'll issue invoice also. Did you people understood? Yes, yes, Anil. See, I'll explain. I'll explain. See, he's supplier. He's supplying the goods. I am recipient. And the goods are under RCM. Now the point is, answer me. Can the supplier who's unregistered issue a tax invoice? Answer me. Can the supplier? No, because the main condition is if you need to issue an invoice, you need to be registered. In that case, the recipient who's registered, will issue a invoice. Did everyone understood the topic? Did everyone understood the topic? Perfect. 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 Now, quick response code. I had a query also about quick response code. Okay, you people might be shopping at malls. And in that malls, while we make the payment, they give you a scanner, a code. We scan and we make the payment. Do you people know about it? We scan and we make the payment. About that is what is known as quick response code. The short form is QR code. Remember, we call it QR code. So now QR code having embedded on the invoice reference number in it. When issued invoice as e-invoice. See, I had a query also and I gave you the answer also. If I'm issuing a e-invoice, and e-invoice is not applicable to all, it is only applicable when my aggregate turnover exceed 5 crore rupees in any financial year from 17-18. In that case, I have to put a QR code also, which we'll be discussing further. Now, a declaration as below, though mandatory, but e-invoices is not required to be issued. I'll give you a situation and then I'll give you people to read this and explain me what it is. See, e-invoicing, E stands for electronic. That means if I'm issuing a e-invoice, I need to have a good connectivity of internet, true or false? If it is a e-invoice, that means I need a internet connectivity. And you people know now, sometimes due to calamities, due to some wars like situation, uh, due to some exams, your internet services are being stopped for some time. So in that cases, if you are under the ambit of e-invoice, perfect, perfect. If you people are under the ambit of e-invoice, but you are not issuing a e-invoice, that in case, because you've been exempted from doing so, so you have to give a declaration. What is the declaration? The declaration is I, that is we, hereby declare, though our ATO in any preceding financial year from 17-18 onward is more than the ATO, as mentioned, we are not required to prepare a e-invoice. Did you people understood? I'll explain. If it is a e-invoice, you have to embed, you have to keep a QR code. Yes, yes, Anil. Now, the point is, if it is an e-invoice, QR code should be there. But due to exceptional circumstances, sometimes, though on you, invoicing conditions were applicable, but you've been exempted for a certain period of time. And in that case, you have to mention, yes, yes, Rahul Roll. That says, Ashlesha. Perfect, perfect, right? Yes, though in that you have to mention. Okay, now facility of digital payment to recipient. Okay, this is like the central government on the recommendation of GST Council may prescribe class of registered person who shall provide prescribed mode of electronic payment to the receiver and give option to such receiver to make payment. See, the point is there is no rule prescribed till now. So it is just I need to tell sometimes you have to give options while making digital payment to the recipient, right? And in that behalf, rules will be drafted, and the rules will be drafted by central government on the recommendation of GST Council. So it is yet to be made. So it is just a section which I have covered. Now, manner of issuing invoice. Now, what is the manner of issuing invoice? Okay, tell me one thing. We'll get it orally done. I'm the supplier, you the recipient. What do you say? One copy will be with the recipient, the second copy will be the supplier, and if the goods are through transport, the next copy, that will be the third copy, will be with the transporter. But to make it right, the original copy is with the recipient, the second copy is with the transporter, and the last copy is with the supplier. So invoice is issued in how many copies? It's issued in 3 copies. In how many copies? 3. The original one is for the recipient. The second one is for the transporter. And the third one is the final, the roughest one, part one. Na? That's for the supplier. Perfect, perfect. Now, in case of supplier of service, we'll make it more simple. See, now I'm giving you services. Now tell me, do we have a truck who's giving you services from my end to your end? Just imagine, no, there is no transporter involved. That means how many copies will be there? There will only be 2 copies, the original copy and the secondary copy. The original will be for the recipient and the duplicate will be for the supplier, right? Perfect. Now, tax invoice issued by the supplier. Now we'll issue. First of all, see, we took time because understanding is more important. Perfect, Navneet. Original is for always for the. Think about now. You always get a original copy. If the person have a bill book, you get the original copy. Now I've explained everything in detail. Now I'll tell how the invoice is issued. What is the time frame in under different situation. But before that, I'll explain more of the thing. See, tax invoice shall be issued by a registered person. Everyone. See, we've already done a tax invoice to be issued by a registered person who is supplying taxable goods, service, or both. See, meaning of supplier, who is supplier? Supplier means a person supplying goods, service, or both, and shall include agent acting on behalf of such supplier. So, if my agent is Anil and Anil is supplying goods on my behalf, then he is also to be known as supplier. Then, meaning of recipient, who is recipient? You people are recipient, right? So, recipient of goods or service or both means where consideration is payable. See, if who receives, very good, Navneet, if the consideration is payable, you will pay me. In that case, person liable to pay consideration is the one who pay for the consideration. But if the consideration is not payable, but more important is in this goods and service. If goods the case, then to whom the goods are delivered, and in case of service, to whom the service are rendered. And recipient shall also include the agent acting on behalf of the recipient. Now tell me, did you people understood the meaning of supplier and recipient? Me, the supplier, right? If I have Navneet as my agent, then my agent is also supplier. Now, except Navneet, every there person there in the class is a recipient. And if you're paying me the consideration, you are the recipient. If you are not paying me the consideration, then take it, whether you're taking goods from me or whether you're taking service from me. If it is good, to whom the goods are given, and if it is service, to whom the service are rendered. I'm sorry, due to Diwali, that pollution, I always have this sore throat. Everyone, shall we continue further? Okay, time limit. Time limit for issuance of tax invoice. At what point of time the invoice shall be issued? Important. We are doing supply of goods. Please mention. I'll give you a diagram. Time limit for issue of invoice is for goods also, is for service also. First, we are covering what? We are covering goods, right? So, the fun. When the supply involves movement of the goods. See, I'll give you an example. You need to understand. I am giving you a good at your premises. See, understand? I am giving you goods from my shop to your premises. Do it involve movement of good? Yes, it involve movement of good. So tax invoice has to be issued when, see, before I can issue or at the time of removal of such good for supply to the recipient. So till what time the invoice shall be issued? Either before or at the time of removal. Did you people understood? Did you people understood? It has to be issued either before or at the time of removal of the good. Perfect. Give me the answer, right? See, we have an illustration. X Limited has entered into a contract for the sale of machine to Y Limited on 25th November. When did the contract happen? 25th November. The machine to be delivered, I have to deliver at your premises on 5th December. X Limited removed, see the word important is removed the machinery from its factory on 30th November without seeing the slide. Hanji, when I need to issue the invoice before or at the 25th, 5th December or 30th November. What will be the answer? When did I need to issue the invoice? Perfect, perfect. 30th November because actual removal from my premises is on 30th November. Perfect answers. Now, tax invoice issued by supplier of taxable goods and taxable service. Ma'am, I need to, right? Now, we'll have the another one. When supply does not involve movement of good. Okay, I'll explain. See, I want to install a solar at my premises. Tell me one thing. Will I get the solar from the shop or from the factory, or the solar will be installed at my premises? Tell me one thing. What will be? The solar is coming in the bus or in the truck. That is not possible now. The solar will be installed at my premises. See, it does not involve movement. It will be installed at my place only. Perfect. The invoice shall be issued before or at the time of delivery of goods for making them available to the recipient. Though in that case, the invoice can be issued before or when the solar will be made available to me for use. At that time also, invoice can be issued. Then, in case of continuous supply of good, okay, is electricity a good? Question to you. Is electricity a good? Adil, yes, electricity is a good, which is capable. Yes, yes, it's a good, capable of being stored also, right? You people store also. Yes, electricity is a good. Is that not a continuous supply of good? Tell me, electricity is on continuous basis? Perfect now. In that case, we are talking about that case. The example is electricity, right? Continuous. Very good. For continuous supply of goods, where successive statement of accounts or successive payments are involved, tax invoice to be issued before or at the time of each such statement is issued or each payment is received. Shall I explain it in the simple manner? We have a Yes, we'll make a statement. Perfect. See, we get a statement now. How much electricity did we consume? And along with that statement, we have invoice. That means invoice was issued either before or at the time of issuing the statement. But I see the statement, I make the payment. That is okay. But if I make a payment beforehand, then the invoice shall be issued at the time of payment. So the answer is the statement or payment, whichever is earlier. Did you people understand? The statement or the payment, whichever is earlier, right? Okay, the question you people need to answer, right? X Limited is supplier of filter water canes. Okay, it started supplying the water cane to the shop of Mr. A, for which billing is to be done on 7th of next month. So you people supply me that filtered water canes and the billing will be done next 7th, right? The first bill was generated on 7th December. Now, the tax invoice has to be issued. You people, the tax invoice has to be issued either on 7th or before of 7th. That is issued on or before 7th December. Perfect. But I have a change in it. I make the payment before 7th September, say 5 December. I made the payment on 5 December. In that case, the invoice shall be issued by In that case, perfect. See, but if the payment is received before 7th December, then invoice has to be issued on or before the date of receiving the payment. Perfect, perfect. You people are getting it. Now, we have another topic, meaning of removal. See, removal is very easy. Removal, we had a first point now where the goods involve movement of good, then the invoice to be issued at the time of removal or before removal. What is removal? Dispatch of good for delivery by supplier or his agent. Perfect. I give you the good. Dispatch of good for delivery by the supplier. Either me or Navneet gave you the good, that's a delivery, or you people collected the good from us, or your agent collected the good from us. That is the recipient. That is also known as delivery. Answer quickly. The shopkeeper sells the good to a customer at his shop. See, this example relate to this, right? On 10th July. Tell me answer. When did the invoice to be issued? When did the invoice to be issued? I am giving you the good. On 10th July, the invoice has to be issued on or before. Very good, 10th July. Perfect, perfect. Then the next question. A shopkeeper agreed to sell goods to a customer on 10th July and goods to be delivered at some place of the customer. Goods were removed from the place of business of shopkeeper on 10th August. Now it is self-explanatory. The goods were removed from my premises on 10th of August. Then the invoice need to be issued either on 10th or before 10th August. Perfect. Next, goods sent on approval basis. Yeah, goods sent on sale or return basis. Okay, I'll give you a simple example. Usually 10th August. Perfect, perfect. Everyone is going on a right track, right? Okay, I'll give you. Usually, somewhere 20 years ago, it is like I'm talking about when we have a marriage in our family, the jeweler used to come along with some ornaments, and there the whole family decide which one to buy and which one not to buy. Tell me one thing, if he came to me with 10 necklaces and I have bought only two necklaces, that means eight will be going back, right? Eight will be going back. So invoice will be issued only for two. The invoice will be issued only for two. See, this is what the whole topic is. I might take the good also, or I might return the good also. While taking, I'll approve the good, right? Now, where the goods, including jewelry, being sent or taken within the state or outside the state. Can be any case. The jeweler can be from the same state or the other state on approval. Ma'am, screen is no. Is my screen not visible? Everyone, it's visible. Perfect. Visible. Perfect. Perfect. Right. It's visible. Okay. Where the goods, including jewelry, right, being sent or taken within the state or outside the state on approval for sale or return basis are removed before supply take place, then the delivery challan should be issued. Do you people remember the point we did? Now, when the shopkeeper was sending those 10 necklaces to my premises, it was not a sale. And since it's not a sale, invoice cannot be issued. It will be invoice issued on the basis of delivery challan. Right? The perfect. The person carrying such good may carry invoice book so that can issue the invoice once the supply is completed. But when he'll come to my place, I'll choose those necklaces. Then he'll issue me the invoice. Now, if sale is outside the state, then IGST is payable. Okay. Further, invoice shall be issued at the time which is earlier of. See what it is saying, which is earlier of. Right? We'll see what is earlier, before or at the time of supply. Whenever, see, whenever the supply will take, at that time the invoice will be issued. That is, supply means when I'll approve the good. When I'll approve the good, the invoice will be issued at that time or before, or if I'm not approving the good within 6 months from the date of removal. See, I have kept the, say I had a mattress on the basis of return approval or return basis, right? Now, the thing is, I am using the mattresses. I am not returning. Then, in case, the invoice will be issued within 6 months from the date of removal. right? uh, Somebody have raised their hand. Is there a serious concern? Everything, audio, video, everything is perfect. Rest, I'll take a both item retained. Perfect. Now, note, if artists remove their artwork to various gallery, while they have to be exhibited and sold from such gallery, then it should be removed under delivery challan or e-way bill. Such movement may be within the state or outside the state, and the GST shall be charged accordingly. See, I'm an artist. I draw paintings, but I need people to see those art lovers I need. So I send my paintings to the art galleries. See, sending the painting to art gallery do not means a supply, no. I am not supplying them, so I cannot issue an invoice. I'll issue them, I'll deliver them on the basis of delivery challan or e-way bill, right? Because e-way bill shows that my goods been traveled, it's moving from one place to the another. Then at the same time, once somebody select my painting, then I'll issue the invoice, right? So a quick recap, ma'am. Ma'am, you only raised the hand. I raised the hand, something like this. Sorry. Okay, so we'll have a quick recap. We've done goods sent on approval in case the goods are sent on approval. If you people approve the good, then the invoice will be issued at the time of approval or before the approval. But if you are not approving the good, then the invoice will be issued within 6 months from the date of removal. Did everyone get it? Right? So see, there's a quick recap. We'll cover it. Fatafat say we'll cover it. Uh, Taxable supply and taxable supply. We've covered what? We've covered taxable supply of good. How many category involve movement of good? The invoice will be issued either before the removal or at the time of removal. If there is no movement of good, the invoice will be issued at the time making the goods available to you. If it is goods sent on approval basis, then it will be issued at the time of removal. That's fine to me, right? But thank you. At the time of remove, what is that? Good sent on return basis. If you approve the good, the invoice will be issued at the time of approval. But if you don't approve the good, the invoice will be issued within 6 months from the date of approval. I had a question from you people. Is the list complete or we are missing one thing? I have made it. Is the list complete or I am missing with one thing? Can anyone tell me what is the thing which is missing? No, we have not done the services. Continuous supply of, do you people not remember? Yes, of good. Or in case of continuous, very good, electricity. In case of continuous supply of good, the invoice will be issued at the time of successive statement. Did everyone get it? So we've completed supply of goods and when the invoice need to be issued. Shall we now cover supply of services? See, goods cover how many topic? 4. And we've done all the 4, right? Now, time limit for issuance of invoice for supply of service. Everyone. See, I'm having a check on you people. See, you people are attentive in my class or not? At till now, what have we completed? What have we completed? Time limit for issuance of invoice for goods. Perfect. And what are we perfect? And what are we starting now? Yes, perfect. I know you people are very attentive. Right, right. And what are we starting with? Service. Now we'll start. Supply of service in normal situation. What does normal situation means? Please. The in situation which are mentioned below are special circumstances. If the circumstance is not special, then we'll cover it under normal situation. What it is? The invoice need to be issued either. Ma'am, electricity bill generated every 2 months. How? GST return file, that we need to cover under GST return, right? Then while I'll be taking that topic, I'll cover that out also. Now, invoice need to be issued either before the provision of the service. Ma'am, is there a need to issue a e-way bill in case if dependent branch of the supplier? I did not get your question. We'll take a gap. While that, you'll explain me more. I'll explain. I'll give you the answer, right? Now, if I'm giving you the services, then the invoice should be issued before the provision of the service. Perfect. While I was giving the services, the invoice can be issued beforehand or within 30 days from the date of supply of the service. See, I have rendered my service. I can issue the invoice within 30 days. But if say we'll have a recap. See, I'm giving you a service. I can issue an invoice either before the services, or I can issue the invoice within 30 days from the completion of the services, and 45 days in case of insurance company, banking company, financial institution, including NBFC. But 15 days more gap has been given in case of insurance company, banking company, financial institution, including NBFC. The time period is 45 days. Now, we'll take an example to it. See, I'm giving you a service, and today is 30th October. I have a question. The consequences if registered supplier fail to issue within time limit. See, the person who wants the ITC will not be able to avail the ITC. The recipient will always demand the invoice within time period, right? And even if the failure continues, the another consequences, we have a topic which is time of supply. There the whole changes comes again, right? So the question is, see, I'm giving you a services on 30th October 2025. Till what date can I issue you the invoice? I can issue you the invoice before 30th October also, and I can issue you the invoice within 30 days from the date I gave you the service. Did you people understood? And in case of banking, insurance companies, NBFC including, 30 days is being changed by 45 days. Did you people understood? Perfect. Cessation of supply of service. 45 days. Perfect. Perfect. Cessation of supply of service before completion of supply. This also happens like I had a contract with you. I have to complete certain amount of service with you. But due to some issues, we were unable to complete the whole service. That means our service was ceased between. In that case, the invoice will be issued when the service was ceased and to the extent the value of service I provided. So the invoice should be issued at the time when the supply ceases. Whenever we have a cessation, and the invoice shall be issued to the extent of supply affected before such cessation. मैम अगर सर्विस 15th October की दी then yes, from October we'll take 30 days. Perfect. Now just give me an example to it. 1st October, 15th October. I need to complete my service between 1st October to 15th October, but due to some reasons we ended up the service on 10th October. Now tell me, I have to need to issue the invoice up till, yeah, on, I need to 10th October up to the value of the service I've provided. Perfect. I need to issue the invoice on 10th October. Perfect. Now, time limit for issuance of invoice for supply of continuous services. Navneet, okay, I'll take it in the gap. It while I read it, it disappears. I'll take it in the gap. Now, time limit for issuance of invoice for supply of continuous service. So, okay, now we are doing what? We are doing continuous service. Now we are doing continuous service. Fatafat, we'll have a reminder. We are doing service when we need to issue the invoice. First is the normal case. Under normal case, you can issue the invoice at the time of supply of service or beforehand or within 30 days. In case of those special entities like banking, non-banking, financial, 45 days. If the service ceases in between, then the invoice should be issued at the time of cessation along with the value which have been provided. Now we are doing continuous supply of services. Okay, I am constructing a house for you. Now tell me, it is 1 day, 2 day work, or it will take a time period? Reply. I'm constructing a house for you. It's a continuous supply of service. So what are we doing now? It will take a time period, but we have a meaning of continuous supply of service. Continuous supply of service means a service which exceed 3 months. See, mark it very, very important. Which exceed 3 months. If it is 3 months, it's not a continuous supply of service. But if it exceed more than 3 months, then it's a continuous supply of service, right? So, okay, we'll take an example. I'll be giving you certain services. I have an annual maintenance contract for your ACs, which I'll be doing it, and it's for a whole year. So it's a continuous supply of service. Now, the tax invoice shall be issued either. See, we have different aspect on or before the due date of payment, when the due date of payment can be ascertained from the contract. When we have an AMC, annual maintenance contract, we've already mentioned these were the dates when the payment has to be made by the recipient, and in that case invoice shall be issued either on that date or before. So see, on or before the due date of payment, on or before at the time when the supplier of service received the payment, but we do not have a date of payment mentioned in the contract. In that case, whenever you people will pay me the amount, at that time or before that, I'll issue the invoice. On or before date of completion of a milestone event, where the payment is linked to the completion of an event. For example, we did it like this. You'll make me the payment when 25% of the work will be completed. The next payment will be at 50% work will be completed, 75% and the 100%. That means we have marked a stage when the payment will be made. In that case, the invoice will be issued on or before the completion of the milestone, as the case may be. And if advance is received, the receipt voucher is required to be issued and not the tax invoice. Everyone knows that, no? If you're receiving an advance, you've not supplied yet, then you cannot issue an invoice. You'll issue a receipt voucher. Everyone get it? Shall we? We have questions, so it will be sum up. You people have to reply, right? Katyayani Security Services. हाँ भाई, tell me, the question relates to supply of goods or service? The question relates to supply of goods or service? Perfect. It relates to supply of service. Provision. So Katyayani Security Service provides security service to Royal Jewelry for the jewelry exhibition to be organized on 5th October. Perfect. That means the service to be provided on 5th October. Katyayani Security Service Limited need to issue invoice within 30 days of the supply of security services. Perfect. It was a normal case. I was giving you security at your event, and the event to be held on 5th October. I can issue the invoice either before 5th October or I can issue the invoice within 30 days. Yes, perfect. At the time of provision of the service. That's 4th November. Next. MBM caretaker, a registered person, provided service of repair and maintenance of electrical appliances. Perfect. That means some kind of AMC contract. On April 1, it has entered into an annual maintenance contract. Yes, with P for its air conditioner and washing machine. Okay, people have appointed me as a maintenance head of your ACs and the washing machine. As per the term of contract, maintenance service will be provided on the first day of each quarter. When will I give you the maintenance services? On the first day of each quarter. That is 1st April, 1st July. Perfect. AMC contract are annual maintenance contract, right? Now, then will be provided at the first day of each quarter of relevant financial year, and the payment for the same shall also be due on the date on which the service is rendered. It is so easy question. See, I'll give you the payment also on the first day of each quarter. Then where are we? Okay. During the year, it provided services on April 1, then July 1, October 1, and January 1 in accordance with the term of contract. And you people remember when it's a continuous supply of service, continuous supply, very good. Can anyone answer me? Continuous supply is 3 month or beyond 3 month? Continuous supply of services 3 month or beyond 3 month? More than 3 month? Beyond 3 months. And in that case, there are three issues. If the payment is determinable, then the invoice will be very good, very good. The invoice will be issued before or at the time of payment. If it is not determinable, when the payment was made, and if there is some kind of milestone before or at the time of such milestone. Then we have taxable supply of service between distinct person. Okay, tell me one thing. Do you people need 5 or 6 minutes gap in the make the query in the end? Continue. Very good. See, don't blame me in the end. See, I'm asking you. Perfect, perfect, perfect. A great thumbs up. I'm so enjoying the class. Okay, okay, we'll continue. Now, you have a doubt. Okay. Navneet have a doubt. We'll answer the doubt. Yes, Navneet. Give me in the chat. I'll answer. Navneet, you can retype your doubt. I'll answer. At the time of payment, raise किया है. हाँ, I understood. I'm telling you, Navneet. You can type your doubt. I'll answer. You need to talk to me. Is there something like that? Okay, then we'll do it, Navneet. In the end, before 15 minutes, we'll have one-to-one conversation. Then I'll answer. Time, अच्छा लिखने में time लगेगा. Okay, okay, Navneet. I'll answer it in the last. You keep your query with you. I'll be there to resolve it. Don't worry. Right? We'll continue with the section now. Taxable supply of service between distinct person. Got the lorry during the. Is it sufficient? Ma'am, if GST officer caught the lorry, see, it depends. Is the lorry, the goods containing in the lorry are a supply or are being moved other than the reason of supply? So, more than 5 crore. Okay. So, if they are for the reason of supply, invoice must be there along with the e-invoice if the value of the goods in the lorry exceed 50,000 rupees. But if they are other than for the reason of supply, then a delivery challan or a e-invoice can be issued. Not supply, yes, delivery challan can be issued along with the e-invoice. Perfect. We have one more question. I had a question I'm missing. अगर डिफरेंट स्टेट में ब्रांच होगा तो सप्लाई होगा क्या बेटा वी आर डूइंग दैट ओनली ना डिस्टिंक्ट पर्सन if you're registered between with one PAN, so you're a distinct person and a stock transfer between distinct person is regarded as supply. Yes, e-waybill is required if value is yes. Perfect. Now shall I continue? Perfect. Yes. Okay, so now, distinct person. We'll take a quick recap of distinct person. If single pen, multiple registration. So we have multiple registration, but the pen number is same. So in that case, we people are known as distinct person. You people remember, no? Section 25, right? We call our distinct person. That's the case. Now we'll do it. Insurance company, see, it is not for everyone. See what the question, what the topic is saying. It is saying it is in the distinct cases, not in every cases, in certain cases. And what are the certain cases? If the insurance company, then we have a banking company, then we have a financial institution, including NBFC. See, what is more in it? A telecommunication company, which was not there in case of 45 days, right? Or notified supplier of service by the government, making taxable supply between if same pen, same GST, but multiple trade, then no supply. I did not get the question, but I'll explain it what you want to answer. If I am there in one state and I have different businesses, I might have same registration. I need not to go for separate registration. But if I want, at my option, need to have a separate registration in the same state, yes, it is not like you are not debarred from getting separate registration, but you can have one registration also. I hope that was the question for you people, right? Now I'll continue with the topic, right? So we have any supplier on which have been notified by the government, and they make a important word, they make a taxable supply between distinct person specified under section 25. So if I'm an insurance company, I'm a banking company, I'm a financial institution, I'm a NBFC, I'm a telecommunication company, or I'm any company which is notified by central government, and I'm making taxable supply between distinct person, in that case the invoice may be issued before or at the time of recording such supply in the books of account of the supplier. See, we are talking about whom? In the books of account of the supplier. Supplier will surely make an entry in the books of account, or before the expiry of the quarter during which the supply was made. That supply will be made in some of the quarter, right? In that case, before the end of the quarter. अगर सेपरेट रजिस्ट्रेशन नहीं है, सिंगल रजिस्ट्रेशन में ही डिफरेंट ट्रेड है उनके बीच, नो, देन नॉट. We need to have distinct relationship, section 25, right? We'll sum up. If there is a taxable supply between distinct person, not in every case. Yes. Not in every case, insurance, banking, NBFC, telecommunication, anyone notified by the government. Then in case invoice to be issued at the time of making entry in the books of the who answer in the books of the invoice shall be issued either very good at the time of making entry in the books of supplier or before the end of the quarter when the supply was made. Perfect. Now, what is HSN? Harmonized System of Nomenclature. Very good. You people are very attentive, very happy, right? Harmonized System of Nomenclature, HSN. Code for goods and service accounting code for service. We've already done, but now we'll take it. We had a question. Usually HSN is of 8 digit, right? But the mentioning of 8 digit is not required. It is for 6 digit only, and that too under different situations. We'll do it. Code used for classification of good is known as HSN code, and it is given by World Custom Organization. Perfect. And code used for the classification of service is known as SAC code. I've already explained. Now, the note is there. I'll explain the diagram first. See, aggregate turnover in the preceding financial year. How many HSN code has to be mentioned in the invoice depends upon the aggregate turnover. And the aggregate turnover of which year? The relevant financial year or the preceding financial year? The answer is preceding financial year. It says if your aggregate turnover is up to 5 CR, see, I'm talking about if your aggregate turnover is 5 crore or less, then in case B2B supply, business to business supply, you only have to mention 4 digit. But if it is B2C supply, that is business to consumer, then it says only 4 digit, but that's not mandatory. It is only optional. Refer a note, and the note is over here. See, check. A registered person having aggregate turnover in the preceding financial year up to 5 crore has been exempted from mentioning HSN code in a tax invoice issued to a unregistered person. Mentioning HSN has been made optional to B2C invoices. See, I told you now, we'll do this also and we'll recap. If it is more than 5 crore, if your aggregate turnover in preceding financial year is more than 5 crore, then you have to mention 6 digit of HSN, right? And for B2B supply also and B2C supply also. A summary recap, I'll question, you people have to give me the answer. Okay, first don't answer. Let me explain. HSN is for good. SSE is for services, right? HSN is of 8 digit, but mentioning is for 6 digit, right? If your turnover, this is a question for you people. My turnover is 2.3 crore and I am making a B2B supply. How many digit of HSN I need to mention? Perfect, perfect, perfect. And if I am making B2C supply, perfect. If I am making B2C supply, it's optional. Right now, it's optional. I can also or I can't also. Perfect, perfect. You people are wonderful audiences. Perfect. Answer this. The turnover of there you will have all the questions answered. The turnover of yellow private limited, red private limited, blue private limited. That means there are three organization. One is yellow, the one is red, and the third one is blue private limited. Perfect. In the preceding financial year, R. See, yellow it's 1.5 CR, and for red it is 4.8 CR, and for blue it's 6 CR respectively. While yellow, okay, now we won't read it, we'll do it my own self. Nay, Anil, people don't get confused. Usually people mention 8 also, but it is okay. While you enter, see, only registered person will enter the invoice to get the ITC. While they mention the 6 digit or 4 digit, they get the ITC. There is the whole description mentioned while you are entering those information. See, I was explaining you and Ashlesha have given the answer also, but we'll do it. हाँ भाई, Yellow Private Limited, in the preceding financial year, the turnover is 1.5 CR. Tell me one thing, if it is B2B supply, it's 4 digit, right? And if it is B2C, it's optional. He can mention also, he won't also. Now, Red Private Limited, the turnover is 4.8 CR, right? So, for again the same answer, right? If it is B2B, 4. And if it is B2BSC, it's optional, 4. Very good. And if it is 6CR, how many? 6 digit, and it's not optional. You have to mention in B2B also, and you have to mention it B2C also. Perfect, perfect. Now, bill of supply. We did bill of supply. Now we only need a reading. Both mandatory. Very good, Navneet. So, bill of supply. See, I am a registered supplier. Perfect, everyone. Tanu, perfect. Right? See, I'm a registered person, but the issue is I am supplying tax exempted good. I'm sorry, I'm supplying exempted good. So I cannot issue a tax invoice. In that case, I'll issue a bill of supply. We'll wind up easily. Now, a bill of supply has to be issued when there is no output GST. I need not to pay the output GST. Since there is no output GST, detail of GST rate, amount of GST not to be mentioned in the bill. Thus, value mentioned in the bill is not a taxable value. Of course, neither the rate will be there nor the amount will be there. Example, there are two cases when bill of supply can be issued. A registered dealer supplying goods and service which are exempted from GST will issue a bill of supply. And the second example is a registered dealer who follow composition scheme for supplying the good. You people have done section 10, right? Yes. If you are a compo dealer, then also you can't collect taxes from your recipient. In that case also, we need to issue a bill of supply. Perfect, Navneet. No ITC for the compo person opting composition levy shall mention the word composition taxable person not eligible to collect tax on supplies at the top of the bill of supply issued by them. Bilkul. Once the bill of supply is issued by compo dealer, there is a written information on it that I am a compo dealer and I cannot collect the taxes, right? Now, content of bill of supply, I'll do it a little fast, right? It is similar to tax invoice, only few particulars are missing. ठीक है? या यूं कहो, two of them are missing, and those twos are neither the rate of GST or neither the amount of GST. See, name, address, GSTN of the supplier, consecutive serial number, which should have 16 character, date of its issue, name, address, GSTN, UI, tax rate, perfect. UIN of the recipient, if or he is registered, harmonized HSN and SAC code, description of goods or service, value of goods or service, both after allowing discount, signature or digital signature, perfect. Yes, however, signature or digital signature is not required in case of e-invoicing if it is e-bill of supply. And example, we'll take it. See, do I need to do it in our depth? It is almost the same which we did. It is only the two information which is missing. Now, example, you need to answer me. Patel and Son is a manufacturer of good who opted composition levy. Yeah, they are under composition levy. It will issue. See, the answer is written, but I need to ask you. If I'm a compo dealer, I need to issue bill of supply. Very good. I need to issue bill of supply. Now, invoice come bill of supply. We'll do it in an example form. See, I'm a supplier, and that supplier, I'm registered also. Sometimes I make a taxable supply because I'm supplying multiple things. And sometimes I make exempted supply. Tell me, it becomes so cumbersome now. I need to issue tax invoice in this case. And I need to issue BOS, bill of supply, Hannah. In that case, now tell me, I need to have a two bill book. Sometimes I may have to take a note key. What am I issuing? A taxable supply or a exempted supply? Tell me, it is bit cumbersome now. In order to get it resolved, in order to make it easy, we have a concept known as invoice come bill of supply. That is, it's a single book which is invoice also as well as bill of supply also. So a registered person supplying taxable as well as exempted supply can issue single invoice come bill of supply. Such single invoice come bill of supply shall contain the particular. This I will leave it to you. You need to answer. Tell me, I am giving exempted supply also, and I am giving taxable supply also. And I have invoice come bill of supply. In that invoice come bill of supply, true or false, Batana, you need to tell me T or F. I'll have the content of both, the content of invoice also and the content of bill of supply also. True or false? Perfect. Yes, of course. Since I have a single document, I need to mention the whole content of the invoice also and the bill of supply also. Whatever is required, I'll fill it. What is not required, I won't fill it, right? Perfect, perfect. Now, special cases. So, we've done so many things. We'll get a quick revision, right? We are doing invoice section 31. 31 is the whole content, which is the most important one. I'll cover as many 31 topic as I can. Otherwise, we'll get it covered in the next class. So that's not a haphazard. First of all, we've done supply of goods. Then we did supply of service. Supply of good, we already have a diagram. So we've made it a revision also. Supply of service, we'll revise. The first supply was a regular supply. Tell me, yes or no? The first supply was a regular supply. Perfect, perfect. At the date of provision of service or within 30 days. Perfect. And if it is invoice for the financial NBFCs, 45 days. Perfect. Then the next was cessation of supply. Cessation of supply. Okay. Whenever the supply ceases of the service, cease date. Very good. I'm so very happy. Everyone is getting the answer. Perfect. Then we have continuous supply of service, right? In case of continuous supply of services, it is 3 month more exceeding, and we have three parameters: date of payment fixed, if date of payment is not fixed, when the payment is made, and the milestone. Perfect, perfect. And then we have supply between the distinct person. Do you people remember? Supply between the distinct person, that too in certain cases, right? In that case, invoice to be issued when the supplier records the entry or before the end of the quarter when the supply was made. Did everyone understood? Did everyone understood? See, we did that along with the questions. Next, we did bill of supply. Perfect. Then we did bill of supply, right? After bill of supply, we did invoice come bill of supply. Everyone. After bill of supply, we did invoice come bill of supply. Very good, Navneet. Next was my topic. Then we did HSN, right? It is 8 digit, but mentioning is 4 or 6 digit. If it is up to, Hanji, can I ask you a question? If my turnover of the preceding financial year is what? Up to? I have to mention only very good. If it is up to 5 CR, 4 digit. Very good. I'm happy with you people. Now we'll continue. Very good. Very good. Great, great work. Great work. Now we'll do. Can we continue with the further one? Perfect. Everyone interacting with me. I'm so very happy. Very happy. Okay, okay. I have a question. Give me an answer to the question. The format of invoice is mandatory. It's been mentioned. The format of the invoice is mentioned. Format of the invoice is not mentioned, not fixed, but the content are being mentioned, made mandatory by the rules. Perfect. But the content are made perfect. Now we'll content are made mandatory. Now we'll take it to the rule 46. Very good, Sayed. Now we'll have the another one, content prescribed, flexible, perfect. Now special cases, revised tax invoice. We'll have the another topic which is known as revised tax invoice. First I'll explain and then ma'am need break before starting next topic. Okay, okay. See, I have a request to give a break. So do you people need break? Okay. In the meantime, everyone, see, this is what? This is 7:31. मजा आ रहा है? अरे वाह, that's good. See, this is 7:31. No, I know you people need a break, but we'll not waste it like a break. It's 7:31. We'll resume the class by 7 minutes or 8 minutes. I'll give you a break. Okay, we'll resume the class by 7:40. In the meantime, whatever query you have, you people can ask me. I'll see. I will not sit idle now. I am so happy. No, that's okay. I have water to drink. In the meantime, if you have any query, I'm there in the chat book. Ma'am, what's the main reason behind? Okay, we have questions. Let me answer them. There's so many. Ma'am, what's the main reason behind bill of supply? To catch turnover? Department point of view, ma'am. Okay, so the question asked to me by Anil is why we need to issue a bill of supply. Of course, do people remember? If you cross the certain turnover limit, then you are out of the composition dealer and you become a regular supplier. Anil, do you remember? So how the department will know that you have crossed the percentage? Yes. Okay. What do abatement means? I'll give the answer. First, I'll give the first query. So how will department know that the turnover has been crossed? They'll know through bill of supply. That's why it is being made mandatory to issue a bill of supply, though the recipient will not take the ITC still. Now, the next, what is abatement? As well as right for exempted good as well as right. Yes. Now what is abatement means I'll give you an example. Usually what used to happen, like the value is of rupees 100, but the tax will be charged on rupees 60. That is, the 40% of the value is abated for the tax purposes. That was abatement, right? See, my goods value is of rupees 100, but the tax will be charged on the 60% of the value of the good. That means I've been getting 40% abatement on the tax. Understood? Steffi, right? Any other question? Perfect. Any other question? I'll answer till everyone else you people need a water break, you can have it. We'll resume the class by 40, as promised by me. I just want the class to be interactive. That means if I'm teaching, it is like a live class. Live, you people are sitting in front of me. So continuously, I'm engaging you by asking the questions. Ma'am, can you please ask tech support team to share WhatsApp group? Tech team, if you people can hear me up, students are asking for WhatsApp group link. Can you please share it? Yeah. Yes, that's to be done. Next, anyone else with any other question? I'm there for you people only. Milestone. Adil, what do we mean by milestone? I'll explain. See, provision. Okay. Anil, now I have your question, I'll answer, but let me answer to the Adil question, right? Milestone event. Sometimes it's an example, take it like an example. We people have contract costing. There, we make it like, yeah, take it a simple example. I want to build a building. So we have a plinth level, that is the base, right? That's a milestone. 25% of the payment will be given at the plinth level. Then we'll construct the first floor, yeah, ground floor. Then the next 25% payment will be given, and the next first floor will be constructed, the next 25, and upon the second floor, the next 25. That means we've set up a completion milestone on which the payment will be dependent. That is what is known as milestone event. So, Adil, did you people understood? Part payment, percentage completion. Perfect, Anil. Okay, what is provision? When I give you the service, when I complete the service, we call it the provision of the service. When the provision of the service have been rendered, that is what is known as supply of service provision. Got it, Adil? Perfect. Yes. Now I'll answer Anil. Anil, ma'am, in case goods are moved, but yet it has to be installed, and the same will also be provided by the same supplier. In that case, what is the time of issuance of invoice? Okay. Anil, I'll ask you a question and you yourself will give the answer. Goods are removed. That means the good involve the movement or do not involve the movement. Tell me that. The goods to be removed, like AC. AC has to be given to me from the factory or the shop of the supplier. So, do the good involve movement? Tell me. You got the answer. Now, the same question I'm asking to you. When the invoice has to be issued? See, I did not answer. I just I just explained the situation and you got the answer. It's the movement of the good. Now, movement of goods are involved. Then the invoice will be issued either before or at the time of removal, right? Shall we continue if everyone there in the class? Perfect. Shall we continue? See, perfect, perfect. Now, so we have a little gap. Say that was a break only, na? See, I was not teaching you anything. I was just giving the answers to the questions. See, you have a break only. Once the class is over, that's a break time. So if we have a class, let's have it a fruitful class, no? After my class, see, I've already taken question. After my class, whatever topic I've done, take your questions, complete them up. And if you have any query, in the next class, we'll solve it. Right? Perfect. Now we are starting. Now, we're starting with the map. See, now you've started again answer questioning me. I was there in the class. Okay, I'll answer it later on. Now I'll explain. Okay. Revised tax invoice. We have a other topic, revised tax invoice. Shall I explain it with the example? See, I crossed the threshold limit of the turnover. Can anyone tell me the section where the turnover limit has been mentioned? Section 22, right? Turnover limit. Perfect, perfect. I'll make you learn if you're not learning it. Yeah, if you don't remember it, 2 ko turn kariye. Just turn the 2. So it becomes 22. So the threshold limit based on turnover is under section 22. Okay, so I crossed the threshold limit. Either it was 10 lakh, either it was 20 lakh or 40 lakh. And the case maybe I'm not going in the depth that we'll do it in registration, right? Now, you people remember, I need to get myself registered and I have to get my registered within 30 days from the event when I got that turnover exceeding. And if I do so, yes, I applied for the registration within 30 days. Then I get registration GSTREG06. I get a registration certificate which is effective from which day? When the turnover was exceeded. Do you people remember? See, yes, perfect. I, but that is not September 22, section 22, which is based on the turnover, right? I crossed my turnover limit, either 10 lakh, 20 lakh, 40 lakh, whatever is applicable on me on so and so date. Right, and I applied for the registration within 30 days. So I got my GST REG06, that is my registration GSTN, on certain date. Say I got my registration, we'll take it 1st October. I crossed the threshold limit and I applied for the registration on 18th October, which is within 30 days. And I got the registration on 20th October. Now the thing is, I'm registered from 1st October. I'm registered from 1st October. Then I need to issue a revised tax invoice between the period from 1st October to 20th October. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this at this certain point of time? I was not registered, so I cannot issue a tax invoice. Since I was not registered, I cannot issue a tax invoice, but my registration was affected from a back date. Now I am registered from 1st October. So in that case, I'll ask my registered supplier to come and I'll issue you revised tax invoice. A invoice issued at the place of tax invoice is known as revised tax invoice. Why will I do it? So that ITC can be claimed by the recipient. Very good. Purchase किया होगा. Yes, exactly. So that ITC can be claimed. And this is what is known as revised tax invoice. And in what days, in what time frame we need to issue tax invoice? It should be issued within 30 days. How many days we need to issue revised tax invoice? Within 30 days from the date of grant of registration. जिस दिन आपको registration का information मिला. Now we'll read it. See, a registered person. See, I was registered. A registered person may issue revised tax invoice within 1 month from the date of issue of registration certificate. I told you now, within 1 month I need to issue. Then, but this can, ma'am, what if recipient refuse to pay GST? What do you think, Dia? Will recipient pay GST? Do you think I'll give you a revised tax invoice and you'll give me 18%, 12%? No, you won't. We take the price as inclusive of GST. Like you've given me 10,000, I'll take it. This 10,000 was 118%. What will be the 18%? No, recipient is so good that he'll give you now GST, right? Issued at the time of what about the invoice which has been issued at the time of delivery? Say the question is not complete yet. It has to be completed. It's not giving any point. It's not a meaningful question. Okay, we'll continue. Then we have this can be done for all the invoice issued in a period starting from the date of effective registration. Our case is for 1st October and ending on the date of issue of registration certificate. And the end date is 20th October when we got the registration certificate. This is done to enable the recipient to take ITC for the supply taken by them. Why do we do this? So that the recipient can take the ITC. The word revised invoice shall be indicated prominently on such invoice. We'll mention the revised tax invoice on the prominently on the top of the invoice. For the purpose of section 31, tax invoice shall include revised invoice issued by the supplier in respect of supply made earlier. That means whatever the provisions are under section 31 on invoice, the same are on revised tax invoice. Your invoice will be substituted by revised tax invoice. You people have to answer, right? Sarabhai Private Limited commenced business for the supply of goods on 1st April in Delhi. Okay, bhai, when did he started with the business? 1st April in Delhi. See, on the start of the financial year. Its turnover exceeded the applicable threshold limit on 3rd September. Okay, so section 22 threshold limit was crossed on 3rd September. Thus, it became liable for registration on 3rd September. But of course, it applied for registration on 29th September, perfect, within 30 days, and was granted registration certificate on 5th October. But the certificate was granted on 5th October. Since now we know the answer, we need to issue a tax invoice. From what date to what date? We need to issue tax invoice from revised tax invoice from 3rd September to 5th October. The date? Very good. On that days, yes, revised tax invoice will be issued. My question is within how many days? Within how many days? Revised tax invoice has to be issued 30 days, and the 30 perfect 30 days will be counted from 5th October. Perfect, perfect. Very good. Perfect. 30 days. Another special cases, we have consolidated revised tax invoice. Okay, tell me one thing. Do we have any topic called as consolidated tax invoice? Did we cover something like this? Yes. Okay, I'll give a small summary recap. Perfect. See, if you people are unregistered, you do not want the invoice, and you're buying things to me which is less than 200 rupees, which is less than 200 rupees, then I need not to issue a invoice if you people don't want it. But at the end of the day, I'll make a total of that, and I'll issue a consolidated tax invoice. We did that now. Now, this is not consolidated tax invoice. Rather, we are doing consolidated revised tax invoice. Perfect, right? A registered person may issue a consolidated revised tax invoice in respect of all taxable supply made to an unregistered recipient during such. Okay, just think about what was the main motive to issue a revised tax invoice? To give a credit? Now the thing is, my recipient is unregistered. He do not need, yeah, he need not to have a credit. So in that case, I need not to issue a separate revised tax invoice. I can consolidate it, the whole amount, the whole supply made during that period, and I'll issue a consolidated tax invoice. Perfect. However, in case of interstate supply, where the value of supply does not exceed 2.5 lakh, a consolidated revised tax invoice may be issued separately in respect of all unregistered recipient located in a state. Important. Hardware store keeps consolidated tax invoice. Yes, but it's not only hardware stores, grocery stores also. See, we sometimes buy a biscuit of rupees 10, 20, 30, a kurkura. So yes, these people do it. Perfect. Now, the next point. See, I am making what kind of supply? Important. I am making interstate supply, one state to the another state, and the value of supply does not exceed, that means it is up to 2.5 lakh rupees. Then I can do one thing. I can consolidate every such unregistered recipient invoice state-wise. What can I do? I can consolidate the invoice state-wise. Thus, a revised consolidated thus, a revised consolidated revised invoice may be issued within 1 month from the date of registration as follows. That is the same thing within 1 month. See, a summary recap is there. If it is interstate, please remember, if it is interstate and the transaction is business to consumer, taxable supply up to 2.50 lakh, it is not exceeding 250, then state-wise consolidated revised tax invoice need to be issued. But if it is B2C transaction and the value is more than 2,50,000, then recipient wise revised invoice need to be issued, right? Permissible for value exceeding. Perfect. Yes. And in case of B2C supply, all intrastate means same state, supplies irrespective of the amount, consolidated revised invoice has to be issued. We will recap. Fatafat se, what is consolidated revised tax invoice? During that period, from the date I cross the turnover and from the date I get the registration, I need to issue a revised tax invoice. But if I have made supply to unregistered people, in that case, I can issue consolidated revised tax invoice. If it is intrastate, no monetary limit, I have to make one consolidated revised tax invoice. But if it is interstate, means one state to the another state, then we'll look to the amount of the invoice. If the invoice is up to 2,50,000 rupees, consolidate all the invoice and make a single invoice state-wise. But if the value of the invoice exceed 2,50,000 rupees, then per recipient, I have to make a consolidated revised tax invoice. Did you people get it? Did you people get it? Shall we, ma'am? Navneet, I gave you the break. No, I cannot. Then we won't be able to complete this topic with so depth now. ठीक है? Okay. Love Kush Private Limited of Meghalaya. Okay, bhai. Do you people remember Meghalaya states, special category states, engaged in the supply of gift item and repair services? Yes, ma'am, in case interstate supply, registration is compulsory. So there will be no perfect. No, Navneet, it's not 10 lakh, beta. It's 20. It's supply of goods or service. Remember? It's supply of goods or service. Yes, whosoever was writing. In case of interstate supply, yes, the registration is compulsory under section 24. Then also I have to apply for registration. Perfect. Now, tell me, if I'm giving you goods also and services also, and I'm in Meghalaya, my turnover limit is 20 lakh, right? Provide you the following data. Let's see. Commencement of business. When did I commence the business? On 1st August. 10 lakh. See, these people are giving you point to give a wrong answer. Don't be there, right? The turnover exceed 10 lakh on 15th August, we are not bothered about it. Then the turnover exceed 20 lakh on 5th September. That is what the date we need. Our turnover exceeded 20 lakh on 5th September. So we need to apply registration within 30 days from 5th September. We apply for the registration on 28th September. That means within the time frame. And the registration certificate was granted on 6th October. Okay, the company seeks your advice as to how it should raise revised tax invoice. Anyone from you people, the revised tax invoice will be from the period this to this. You people need to answer. Perfect. From 5th September to 6th October. Everyone, I'm so happy you giving perfect right answers. Now, perfect. Is there any specific provision for the issuance of revised tax invoice to unregistered customer? Yes, there is specific provision. If it is intrastate, irrespective of turnover, I can issue a consolidated revised tax invoice. But if it is interstate, then depends the value of supply. If it is up to 2.5 lakh rupees, very good. Up to state-wise, consolidate and make it state-wise. But if it exceed 2.5 lakh rupees, then make it supplier-wise. Sorry, recipient-wise. Everyone get it? Everyone get it? And that only in case of B2C. Perfect. Now, consolidated revised tax invoice. Okay. Consolidated revised tax invoice. We've already done, that's an extra slide. Now, No tax invoice is required to be issued if the value is less than 200 rupees. Now we come again with the main important topic, which everyone in exams ask. A consolidated tax invoice can be issued. See, I told you in the main class when we started. Now the topic is in depth. Again, no tax invoice. See, you're buying a pen from me and the pen is of rupees 5. If I give you an invoice, it'll cost me 1 or 2 rupees. That's not my profit margin also. So in that case, neither you'll ask for the invoice, neither I am ready to give the invoice. In that case, we can at the end of the day issue a consolidated tax invoice. Yes. So a registered person may not issue tax invoice if, okay, the value of the goods or supply is less than, very important, is less than 200. If the recipient is unregistered and the recipient does not require such invoice. If customer say it, then I need to give it. If customer is asking for the invoice, invoice is their right, I need to issue. Instead, such registered person shall issue a consolidated tax invoice for such supply at the close of each day in respect of such supplies. Thus, small taxpayer like small retailers doing a large number of small transaction up to the value of rupees 200 per transaction to unregistered customer need not to issue a invoice for every such transaction. They can issue one consolidated invoice at the end of the each day for all transactions done during the day. However, they need to issue an invoice where the customer demands. I had a question, a query from someone who asked that if it is a shop of hardware, so, will the consolidated tax invoice will be issued? Yes. In the hardware, somebody would be asking for a quick fix of rupees 10. Yes, right? No? 10 rupees or a switch, anything hardware. Same is the example of grocery store also, right? However, option is not available to supplier engaged in making supply of service by way of admission to exhibition of cinematography film in a multiplex screen. Okay, I'll ask you a question. uh, sometimes we go to watch a movie, everyone, yes or no? We people go to a multiplex, no, PVRs, to watch a movie. And if it is like Wednesday, and that to a morning show, that is a working day, and that to a morning show, say from 9 to 11, something like that. Usually occupancy is not there because everyone is there at the office. So what do? They crash down, they give a discount on the ticket, which is like 100 rupees per person. Has anyone availed such discount? We are free today. We don't have any class also, like we are free. So we have taken a ticket which is of rupees 100 only. So what do you say? We won't get a ticket. We won't get a ticket since the value is less than 200 rupees. We people are unregistered and we don't need a ticket. It will be given, no? So this provision is not applicable in case of tickets which are being issued by multiplex screens. Did you people understood? Did you people understood? Perfect. Now, the same provision is applicable to bill of supply also, right? Now, you need to answer. I'll just be explaining, right? Jen and Son is a trader dealing in a stationery item. See how clever these people are. They are taking a perfect example. Stationery item, somebody might be taking a pencil, a pen, a rubber, a box, which might cost 100 rupees or less than 200 rupees. Now, it's registered under GST and has undertaken following sales during the day. Okay, he's registered and he's made the following sale. Raghav Trader, a retail, a registered retail dealer. Raghav Trader came to me and he bought goods of rupees 190. I need to issue an invoice. Why? He is a registered retail dealer. Please don't look at to the amount. Rather go with the registered person. Then Dhruv Enterprise, an unregistered trader. Okay, he's unregistered trader and the value is 358. I need to issue invoice since the value exceed 200 rupees. Gaurav, a painter came to me to buy some brushes or something like that. Again, he's unregistered, but the value of supply is more than 500, matlab more than 200. I need to issue an invoice. Then Oberoi Orphanage, an unregistered entity. It's an unregistered entity, and the value of supply which he or she or it bought is तो बी से इशू करना नहीं 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 बिल्कुल है ना then we have Oberoi Orphanage. It's an unregistered entity and the value is less than 200 rupees. Need not to issue a invoice. At the end of the day, issue a consolidated tax invoice. Then Aradhya, a student, a unregistered person, right? And 158 का value है. It is also 200 से less है. So we need not to issue an invoice. Rather, for these two transactions, we can issue a consolidated tax invoice. Now, none of the recipient required to tax invoice. Raghav Trader being a composition dealer, it hardly matter he is a compo dealer or a regular dealer. He is registered, and once he is registered, I need to give him a invoice. Then determine in respect of which of the above supply Jen and San may issue a consolidated. We've already done. Did you people understood? Did you people understood? Perfect. Perfect. Now, receipt voucher. I'll ask you, I'll not explain. See, we've done invoice. I promised I'll be covering invoice and the other document as much as I can. So, receipt voucher. Yes, very good. Ashlesha, you people have given me advance. You want to book a Activa. And just in order you get it in the time, you've given 10,000 rupees advance. There is no supply since you have not yet finalized the Activa. You're just giving a token amount, a booking amount. In that case, I cannot issue you your invoice. Rather, as a proof of receipt of payment, I'll give you a receipt voucher. So, the registered person is issue receipt. Yes, perfect. A registered person, a registered person shall, on receipt of advance payment with respect to any supply of goods or service or both, issue a receipt voucher evidencing receipt of such payment. Of course, that's a documentary evidence that yes, I have received certain amount of payment. A receipt voucher shall contain the following particular, namely name, address, GSTN of the supplier. That we have done. I'll do it fatafat se. A consecutive serial number not exceeding 16 character, date of issue, name, address, GSTN, UIN if recipient is registered, description of goods or service or both, amount of advance tax taken, rate and amount important. Rate and amount of tax. If I know you are giving me the advance for such and such supply, then I have to mention the rate and the amount of tax. Whether the tax is payable on reverse charge basis, that has to be mentioned. Signature or digital signature of the supplier or is authorized representative. Okay. Now I'll give you one situation which will be the answer to this. You people have given me advance, right? But you have not yet decided that you want to buy a Activa or you want to buy a bike. And both have, I'm giving you an example, both have different HSN classification. Now tell me, how can we mention the rate? Since we are not clear, we are buying an Activa or we are buying a bike. In that case, sometimes when the advance is received, it's not mentioned. Yeah, we are yet to determine whether what kind of supply will be made, what will be the HSN code, and whether it will be interstate or intrastate. In that case, we have a rule. In that case, we have a rule to follow. Remember, it's a important concept, many a times asked in the question, where at the time of receipt of advance, perfect, Navneet, the rate of tax, sorry, Hmm. I need 2 minutes. I need 2 minutes. I had a bad sore thought. Okay, once again, at the time of receipt of advance, you people are giving me advance. I don't know the rate of tax, nor I don't know about the nature of supply, whether intrastate or interstate. In that case, rate of tax will be fixed 18%. Fixed at that point of time, by default, it's 18%. And nature of supply will be interstate. The nature of supply will be interstate, right? Everyone got it? Nature of supply will be interstate. Everyone got it? Perfect. It's only in case of advance. Don't take it in case of supply, right? It's only in case of advance. Now, refund voucher. Okay. Now the point is, I've taken the advance from you people. Nor I issued the invoice. I did not. It is HSN. If not, no. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, I've taken an advance. I did not give you the invoice, nor the supply was made from my part. Anyhow, our contract did not fortify it. We did not complete it. In that case, yes, I have to refund you your advance receive. In that case, I'll issue a refund voucher. What will I issue? A refund voucher. Where? On receipt of advance C, I received an advance C. There. The recipient is giving advance to the supplier. With respect to any supplier of goods or service or both, the registered person. Issue a receipt voucher, of course, but subsequently, very important, I need two answers to be written. Answer number one, no supply is made. Neither I made the supply, neither I issued the tax invoice. I did not give you the supply, nor I issued the tax invoice. In pursuance thereof, the said registered person may issue to a person who had made the payment a refund voucher against such payment. Then, in case, since I'll refund the payment along with the refund voucher, perfect, Saipa. It is, will the supplier refund the advance amount along with the refund voucher? Yes, yes, yes. बेटा अगर टैक्स इनवॉइस इशू हो जाए तो फिर पेमेंट रिफंड नहीं होता क्योंकि टैक्स इनवॉइस इशू होने पर टैक्स लाइबिलिटी क्रिएट हो जाती है राइट फिर हम इस केस में क्रेडिट नोट का इशू करते हैं राइट आगे देखो रिफंड वाउचर द सच रिफंड वाउचर शैल कंटेन द फॉलोइंग पर्टिकुलर नेम एड्रेस दे आर सिंपल GSTN of the supplier, consecutive number not exceeding 16 character, date of issue, recipient का GSTN और UIN number and the date of receipt voucher issued under Rule 50. Important baat. The refund voucher is not the first document. It's the secondary document. You might have taken advance. And in that pursuance, what have you issued? Tell me. Yes, पहले receipt voucher issue हुआ होगा first and then we are issuing. So you have a reference of the receipt voucher. Perfect, perfect. Description of goods or service in respect of which receipt refund is made, the amount of refund made, the rate of GST, the amount of GST paid in respect of such goods or service, whether the GST is payable on RCM basis, signature or digital signature. So it's very common for everything. The only important thing is here you'll have a reference and the reference in the refund voucher will be of the receipt voucher which you issued while accepting the advance. Now, invoice and payment voucher. Okay, can I ask you how many people of you are known about are having information about RCM? Ma'am, many content are common. Everyone is well versified? Everyone? ठीक है. I'll give a diagrammatic representation. See, still, I had a duty. I'll explain so that this point is very clear to you. See, he is a supplier. He is a recipient. He is availing supply, either goods or service. But the point is, it's mentioned under RCM. It's mentioned under RCM. That means what? That means taxes to government will be paid by recipient. Everyone, did you people understood? Did you people understood? Now, the thing is, I'll make a payment of service or good to the supplier, and I'll make the payment of GST to government paid by. Perfect. Now the thing is, while I make the payment, I'll issue a payment voucher. First of all, tell me, did you people understood that? Yes. While I'll make the payment to the supplier, I'll issue a payment voucher, right? Now the thing is, question is on invoice. Now the next question arises, the question arises on invoice. What about invoice? I'll explain also. If supplier is registered, then invoice will be issued by supplier. But if supplier is unregistered, then invoice will be issued by, you people answer me, fill in the blanks. If supplier is registered, the invoice will be issued by the supplier. Perfect. The invoice will be issued by the recipient. Now, understand the heading. See, invoice, that is the first word, and payment voucher. Did you understand the combination? Perfect, perfect. Did you understand the combination of two words, invoice and the payment voucher? Right? Did you people on this reason? Yes. Oh, this is the reason of the heading. Yes, Ashlesha, this is the reason. See, if the supplier is registered, he'll issue the invoice. In that case, I'll only issue, the recipient will only issue the payment voucher. But my supplier is unregistered. In that case, I'll issue both the payment voucher also and the invoice also. Did you people understood? Shall I proceed? Shall I explain? Is the point clear? Perfect. Now, section 31F. A registered person who's liable to pay GST on RCM basis, either under section 9.3 or 9.4. Do you people remember 9.3? Unregistered supplier को yes किसको देगा unregistered supplier को okay 9.3 all those services and goods which are mentioned in 9.3 right 9.4 the developer that's the affordable housing schemes we have three RCM 9.3 9.4 9.5 right we are talking about 9.3 and 9.4 right so shall issue a tax invoice of goods or service both received by him from the unregistered supplier. Did you people understood this word? I'll be happy if things make meaning to you. Perfect. If you're taking goods or service from unregistered person, you need to issue a payment voucher. You need to issue a invoice. Now, next, it says, invoice referred under this section has to be issued within 30 days from the date of receipt of goods or service or both. Important thing, when will the invoice be issued? Ma'am, service के case में within 30 days? Yes, because this service is covered under RCM. Yes, Navneet, because this service is covered under RCM. So in this case, the invoice by the recipient, registered recipient will be issued within 30 days of receipt of good service or both. Pura doubt pade. Okay, I'll do it. A registered, let me complete this, then I'll do it. A registered person who is liable to pay GST on RCM basis under section 9394 shall issue a payment voucher at the time of making payment to the supplier. So this is the whole concept is key. If I am taking the goods or service on which taxes are payable on RCM basis, I am registered, but the supplier is not registered. I'll issue a payment voucher as well as I'll issue a invoice. But yes, both Navneet, perfect. But my supplier is registered. In that case, I'll only issue a payment voucher. I will not issue a invoice. Hope it is clear. Right? We have an example also. So the recipient now invoice and payment voucher. The recipient is liable to pay tax on reverse charge basis where he receives supply of such goods or service both which are notified for reverse charge for the purpose under section 9393. Such supply can be received from a registered or a unregistered supplier. Haan bhai, 93 you people remember? We have lawyer, advocate services. Do you people remember that? 9.5 is for e-commerce operator. That's a different aspect, right? 9.3 we have a list of supply of services which are taxable under, yes, legal services. We have many. We have authors, publishing houses, sponsorship services. We have many a service. In that case, the supplier can be registered also and unregistered also. Very good sponsorship. Now, further. A builder, a promoter is required to pay GST on reverse charge basis under section 9.4 in one or more of the following cases. But we have one more entry 9.4 which is applicable on builders. Do you people remember? For builders, they have GST rate of 1% and 5%. If it is affordable housing scheme, the rate of GST is 1%. Do you people remember? We have it in reverse charge 9.3, 9.4, 9.5. Yes, and if it is other than affordable, we have a square meter area. Very good. It's 5%. Everyone remember. Very good. Now, this is just I'm telling what is 9.3 and 9.4. Okay, I won't go ahead. I'll explain it like this. For a builder, there is a provision. 80% of their material, 80% of their inward supply should be made from registered person. If it is not made from registered person, then in that case, RCM will be applicable and they have to pay the GST under RCM. And for the case of cement, it has to be from recipient registered supplier only. It is not covered under 80%. Do you people remember? I am just recapitulating that. It's not for me. I just need to tell you under 9.3, the supplier can be registered also and unregistered also. And under 9.4, the supplier is only unregistered. Then only RCM provisions are applicable. Otherwise not. Did you people understood that point? Right? And if it is plant and machinery, remember? Plant and machinery is taken from unregistered person. Then the rate applicable on that plant and machinery has to be paid by the builder. And if it is other supplies, do you people remember? 18% of GST is applicable under RCM. See, you people have covered that point. Everyone. Or I should make a diagram for this. This is there in the chapter. Reverse charge mechanism, RCM, charge. Yep, done. So, going further, we'll have this diagram. You need to answer me up. Invoice and payment voucher. Invoice. Okay. Where the recipient is registered. You people think of yourself, right? You people are recipient and you people are registered. You took the supplies which were covered under RCM. You took certain supply which were covered under RCM. It could be supply under section 9.3 also and it could be supply under section 9.4 also. See, in 9.3, the recipient, the supplier in 9.3, yes. In 9.3, the supplier can be registered also and unregistered also. But in 9.4, the supplier will be unregistered. In that case, invoice will only be issued. See, invoice will only be issued when? By whom the invoice will be issued? The invoice will be issued, very good, by the recipient. Only when the supplier is unregistered. Got it? When the supplier is unregistered. Then issue and payment invoice and payment voucher. Now we are talking about payment voucher. See, payment voucher, where recipient is registered. You people are registered. The receive and receives this supply taxable on reverse charge basis. Ma'am, 9-4, under 9-4, yes, very good. Anil, you took a very right point. Under 9-4, the supplier will only be unregistered. Yes, the section states that only. Now, the thing is, again, see, I've taken a supply under section 9-3, or I have taken a supply under section 9-4. Okay, under 9-3, the supplier can be registered also, or can be unregistered also. But under 9-4, the supplier is always unregistered. But in every case, I need to issue a payment voucher. But in every case, I need to issue a payment voucher. Tell me, did you people understood? Payment voucher mandatory. Yes, if you're taking any supply of goods or service which is under RCM, the payment voucher is mandatory. Yes. So can we have a question session now? Everyone, can we have a question session? Okay, I'll be asking. Did you upload? Yes, I'll upload this PDF for you people. Yes. Okay, so we'll have a question session and we'll have the doubt session also. Okay, I'll be asking you the question. You people need to answer me up. So it's a rapid fire answer questions. My first question, it's a continuous supply of service. My first question, it's a continuous supply of service, right? And in that date, in that case, and it is of 4 month. First of all, continuous supply of service will be applicable or not? The provision of continuous supply. Perfect. It's more than 3 months, no? Yes, applicable. Perfect. And the date of payment is mentioned. And the date of payment under the contract is mentioned. Then the invoice to be issued. The question is for you. Then the invoice should to be issued. Very good. On or before the date of making the payment. Perfect. On or before. Agla question. Next question. You people need to answer. It's a regular supply of service from my side. I'm giving you a certain service, a regular supply of service. It's not a continuous supply of service. My service ended on 30th October. My service ended on 30th October. Till what? Till when I need to issue an invoice? Till when I need to issue a invoice. Perfect. Shall we revise? Either before or within 1 month of giving the services. That's the provision of the services. Perfect. Next question. My preceding year turnover was 3.5 crore. My preceding year turnover was 3.5 crore. And I made a supply 3.5 crore. Okay. I made a supply of rupees 10,000. I made a supply of rupees 10,000. What I need to issue? I have just what I need to issue. My preceding year turnover is 3.5 crore. Okay, I'll reframe it. Okay, I'll reframe it. Yes. Yes, Anil, you got it, but others did not get it. Look, okay, I'll reframe it. My previous year turnover was 3.5 crore. I'm issuing an invoice. What I need to issue, what I need to write in the invoice, I need to write HSN, right? And that too only 4-digit HSN. That too only 4-digit HSN. If it is B2B transaction, it's mandatory. But if it is B2C, then it is perfect. If it is B2C, then it is optional. Next question to you people are, okay. Next question to you people are, the invoice number can be maximum of how many digit? No, Pooja? Yes, the invoice number can be maximum of 16 digit. Perfect, perfect answer. Can be of 16 digit. Agla, next question you people need to answer. I am a registered supplier and I have a grocery store and I am supplying goods worth rupees 80, 100, 150. So I'm supplying the goods to the registered person. Have I need to issue an invoice separately? I'm supplying the good to a registered person. Yes, I need to. Tanu, I need to na to a registered person. We need to issue a invoice, right? Separately. On the contrary, if I'm issuing the invoice to a unregistered person, then very good, Adil. If he demands, then I have to issue the invoice. Otherwise, at the end of the day, I can issue a consolidated invoice. Perfect. Consolidated tax invoice. Next question to you people. Next question. Next question. Is consolidated or revised consolidated invoice one and the same thing? Is consolidated invoice? Perfect. They are different. They are different, right? Revised consolidated tax invoice are different. They are to be issued in case of B2C transaction, right now? Perfect. They are to be issued in case of B2C transactions. B2C transactions. Business to consumer, yes. If it is B2B transaction, I need to issue a separate invoice only, na? Separate revised tax invoice only. Next question to you people. Perfect, perfect. Next question to you people is, okay, I have taken advance. I have taken advance, but at the time of taking advance, I had no idea what kind of supply will I make. So what is the rate of GST which will be applicable? Perfect. It will be 18%. Okay. I don't know the nature of the supply, whether it will be intrastate or interstate. Then in case, what kind of supply will it be taken? Interstate. It will be taken as interstate. Perfect, perfect. Next question to you people is perfect. You people are doing wonderful job. Okay, I have a contract to serve you with the services for 1 month. Remember what I'm talking? I have a contract to give you the services for 1 month, and during the 1 month, I'll be paid 1 lakh rupees, right? But due to some reasons, we cease the service on 15th of October. Due to some reason, we cease the service on 15th of October. Till that date, I have rendered the services of 60,000 rupees. Tell me the date of issuance of invoice and the amount of issuance of invoice. Perfect. 15th August, sorry, 15th October will be the date when the invoice will be issued up to the value of the amount of service rendered, and the amount will be perfect. Perfect. The amount will be 60,000. Perfect. Next. See, I'm taking services under RCM. See, listen. I'm taking services under RCM. That too under section 9(3). Did you people got it? I'm taking services under RCM, and that too under section 9(3). My supplier is registered. My supplier is registered. What will I issue? What will I issue? My supplier is registered. Perfect, Shambly, perfect. Yes, I'll only issue a payment voucher. Yes. Beta, I can't issue invoice now. Mujahid, I can't issue a invoice because he is already registered. He'll issue a invoice to me. I'll issue a payment voucher, right? So we'll have our inbox. Did you people enjoy the session? Did you people had a good understanding about the sections? Right? How many sections are there in the chapter? Perfect. How many sections are there in the chapter? Perfect. 4. 31, 32, 33, 34. I'll explain. 31, 32, 33, 34. 31 is invoice, right? 32, rate of tax, amount of tax. 33, unauthorized collection is not possible. And the 34th is debit note and credit note, which we'll be doing in the next class, right? So I'll go to the, we have more of questions also. Any? It's see, I don't have question here. So the technical team there, I am done with my topic. So shall we end up the class? Okay, we have a question, ma'am. We have a question. We need to. हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल नवनीत, I'll give you the answer. Answer everyone. Ma'am, सर्विस के केस में ओके इन केस ऑफ सर्विस invoice issue has to be done within 30 days. Perfect na? In case of service, we need to issue invoice within 30 days of the provision of service. Yes. I have a question that, for example, if I provided service on 28th September, okay, perfect, 28th September, then I can issue the invoice within 30 days up to 28th October. Or I have to file GSTR1. Okay, you're asking about the returns. Okay. First of all, everyone, did you people understood? Yes. If I have given you the service on 28th September, I can issue the invoice within 30 days. Now, the other question is, I have to file GSTR1 for the September up to 11th of October first, but of course, okay. So I can file the return with that invoice or I have to file it in next invoice. Okay, beta, when it comes ki in which GSTR1 the information will be given, it will be based upon time of supply. And under time of supply, we have different event in case of supply of service. Accordingly, when the invoice is issued within time, accordingly, applying the provision mentioned in the time of supply, we'll give the answer in this GSTR1. Yes, Nagaraja, it is not based on the invoice. Rather, we'll go and use the criteria of time of supply. Right? Ma'am, in this chapter, is there any problem-based question? I have already covered whatever is there in the example. And once in the last session, we'll do the questions also.
Good evening, students, and good evening, Payal.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes.
And yes, as far as the problem-based question is concerned, there are two lectures which are allocated to this topic, tax invoice. So, as far as this class is concerned, Payal has taken numerous examples, and in the next session, the problems, complete full application-based questions will be taken by Payal ma'am. So I hope that you have understood the topic. And one request to all of the students that please share your feedback in the feedback form, because ye Payal Johanna has joined today as intermediate LVC faculty. So you may share your feedback in the feedback form and be there in the next class, because in the next class, ma'am will take the application based questions also on this topic. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Payal.
Thank you, ma'am. So thank you, everyone.